Hello everybody, take a look at this beautiful Michael Bay figure, Michael Bay Ratchet figure. So I picked this guy up on eBay for just a few bucks, and I've actually had him before. He was missing most of his parts, literally from here to here, gone. But I did like his overall design, and I was like, you know what? It actually looks kind of like the Bayverse Ratchet, like how I want him to look. Now, we did get a pretty good Studio Series one that kind of captures his on-screen presence, but I don't know, something about him just seems too skinny. Something about the face just seemed, I don't know, just not, I don't know if it's just because I grew up with more of this imagery of this like chunky pig nose looking version, but this version from Studio Series just never really captured that look for me entirely. Especially the coloring. I think the green on this one just kind of, it fits how I see him a little bit better. Let's move in a little closer so we can see the details. Ooh, there we go. Let's take a look at his face, and I don't know, that face looks like it captures Ratchet really well. For example, take a look at this guy here. Yeah, it's this one definitely looks, I think, better sculpted, but something I kind of wish that this head were on the Studio Series body to a certain degree. But as well as that, he does have a nice chunkiness to him, like the toy plastic's very quality and very thick. He does have an overly wide frame, which they made like his door hinges here are basically part of his arms, and it does have thin plastic going on there, but it is quality thin plastic for that. And he does have a lot of gimmicks going on here too. But I don't know. I really dig him. It's not something that I can really defend, because if someone were to ask me, is this a good figure, I would probably have to tell them no. But then if they asked me, do you like it, I would say yes. Because at the same time, there's a lot going on here. Color usage, very good. Articulation is terrible. For example, you would think there's knee articulation here, but the transformation makes it so his knees go that way, right? So even if you're de-transforming him, his legs can only go the opposite way. They can't bend in the right direction. They do have hip swivel, so that's cool. Well, actually, let's take a look at the articulation. His head just is, yeah, it goes full 360. No ball joint, just a hinge. And then his arms, I don't know where you want to classify them as starting. I guess up here, that's his shoulder. And it does move up and down. Well, it doesn't go backwards easily. It does kind of snap and then it goes backwards. Okay, so you get a full 360 with this quote-unquote arm. And then you get this bend right here. It's separate. It's inward. This should be connected to here, and this should be over here. So the anatomy on him is pretty fucked. I'm not gonna lie, it's off. Especially going on here, we see his tiny arms, and then because his feet are so small, let's move back to a different perspective. Because his feet are so small, you know, his hands are nearly touching the ground here. He's got like a bit of a gorilla look going on there. It's off. The proportions are massively off. No paint going on the legs except for this little black here. At the wrists, there is a rotation too, though. Let's add that. So it does that. And then over here, no wrist swivel, but there is his machine guns that he's got on his wrist. They do swivel back and forth. Not terrible. So we got that going on for him. Let's go back into focus. And yeah, no paint going on there really. Just those hips moving outward, kind of outward like that. No ankles. Just a very standard basic figure. When it comes to his accessory, let me see, where's the fire button? Right here, I think. Let's get something so he can shoot it. Let's pull out his friend here, and let's see how this works. Sorry, old friend. Let's go. Come on. Fire. He gets shy. Sorry, it's cold in here. There we go. Well, you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? And I guess you also miss the shots that you do. Okay, so this is the trigger right here on the bottom. We pull that. Yeah, and it limply fires off in whatever direction you're aiming it. Pretty neat missile, having it clear, and it kind of gives me like a water effect, not really a blaster energon effect, but it serves its purpose. You know, it's a toy. He's doing his toy job, being all toy-like. I'm not terribly mad at it. So, yeah, he's got that going for him. Let's look at his transformation, because I think that's about the last thing we can take a look at now, except for, let's show him off the back. You can see it's just a mess going on there. Whatever the transformation does is a mess. All right, so let's transform him real quick. Actually, before we do that, I can show you this pamphlet that he came with. My God. Very rare to come across stuff like this, unless you get them in package. This is his transformation packet. It says Axe Attack Autobot Ratchet, and then you see the whole transformation method, but old school. I dig it. Yeah, definitely cool to hang on to one of these. If you ever come across stuff like that, that's history right there. Very easily lost. I have a drawer full of that crap, though, so maybe someday I'll find something to do with it. All right, now transformation time. Transformation time, come on. Boom. Alright, so not terrible transformation. It's a lot easier to do when you're not doing it in front of a camera, but what's cool is when you start transforming them, a lot of these parts kind of move automatically. They're on like different spring systems, but there is a storage for the missile underneath, and I really dig that. Let me see if I can line it up well. There we go. So everything kind of stays together. I really dig it. Honestly, this is a really good car mode too. Let's go back into an up-close look. Beautiful. Crisp lines, search and rescue on the side there. Good coloring. We even got his Autobot logo. Let's see, look at that. Search and rescue, fire department. I don't know. Not everything lines up perfectly well, but overall, no complaints. I'm going to say this is a solid figure. He rolls really well, and I really like his coloring. Is he worth as much as a Studio Series? Absolutely not. This figure, even though I dunked on him a little bit, he is better. This is a better figure. This is a more fun figure. I do enjoy playing with old school Transformer toys, man. I know old school to some people might seem crazy because this is only like, what, 2007, maybe 8. But at the same time, you know what? That's a long time ago now. So let me know what you guys think. Do you pick up like these Bizarro figures, even though they're like not the best of the line? See you guys in the next one. Here he is next to 2007 Camaro Bumblebee, Baver's Prime, and Emo Ratchet.